The paddock expected McLaren CEO Zak Brown to take the safe path before Singapore, protect Oscar Piastri, the championship leader, and lock him in as the clear number one. Instead, Brown stunned everyone by doubling down on McLaren's Papaya Rules. No team orders, no hierarchy, both Piastri and Lando Norris free to fight. With Max Verstappen charging back into contention, this decision is nothing short of a gamble that could define the entire season. If you're a fan of Formula One told without the fluff, make sure you subscribe, because this story isn't just about two young stars, it's about how McLaren risks repeating history. For Piastri, Brown's call is a double-edged sword. On one side, it shows faith in his maturity. He's no longer the rookie outsider, he's leading the title race. But on the other, he's left exposed. Every lap, he's not only defending against Verstappen, but also from Norris, his own teammate. The slightest misstep could flip the entire balance of the championship. Heading into Singapore, the numbers could not be tighter. Oscar Piastri leads the championship, but his margin over Max Verstappen has been cut dramatically after Red Bull's upgrades at Spa, Monza, and Baku. Two emphatic Verstappen wins have shrunk the gap to single digits, transforming what looked like a two-way McLaren duel into a three-man title fight. Meanwhile, Lando Norris sits just behind, still within striking distance. He has waited 5 years for a car worthy of a championship run, and the McLaren 39 has finally given him that platform. But those near misses in Italy and Azerbaijan mean every lost point now feels magnified. McLaren itself is on the cusp of a milestone, just 13 points from sealing the constructor's crown. Yet strangely, that prize feels like a sideshow compared to the driver battle. What matters now is how Brown's refusal to impose team orders reshapes the momentum. Does it sharpen both drivers or split the team when unity is needed most? Zak Brown could have taken the pragmatic option, back Piastri, secure every possible point, and shield McLaren from risk. Instead, he has insisted that the Papaya Rules remained untouched, absolute equality between his drivers. It's a philosophy that sounds noble, but the numbers reveal the scale of the gamble. Points after Baku, Piastri on 242, Verstappen on 236, Norris on 221. That 6-point margin over Verstappen is razor thin, less than the swing of a fastest lap. And it leaves McLaren's drivers chasing glory while fighting each other. History offers a warning. In 2007, when McLaren refused to choose between Alonso and Hamilton, Ferrari's Kimi Räikkönen snatched the title by a single point. This is the knife edge Brown has placed his team on. Every strategic call, pit stops, tire choices, undercuts will now be shaped not just by Verstappen's pace, but by which McLaren driver the wall dares to back in the heat of battle. The immediate consequence of Zak Brown's stance is brutal clarity. McLaren's title hopes now rest on two drivers fighting on equal terms against one of the most ruthless champions in modern Formula One. If Piastri wins in Singapore, he strengthens his fragile lead and signals that his rookie-year reputation has fully transformed into the authority of a title contender. But if he falters, even slightly, Verstappen is perfectly placed to pounce. For Norris, the implications are just as stark. A victory in Marina Bay could rewrite the story of his season, catapulting him into joint contention and silencing critics who argue he has wasted chances. Yet a misstep here, contact with Piastri, or simply losing out in strategy risks ending his dream before it truly begins. The constructor's title may be virtually locked, but the driver's crown is another story. McLaren has gambled on harmony under pressure, but Singapore's heat and unforgiving walls make harmony a fragile illusion. The line between masterstroke and meltdown has never been thinner. Reaction to Brown's decision has split the paddock and the media. In the UK, many pundits defend McLaren's stance, framing it as a return to the sport's purest form. Teammates racing without interference, the strongest driver winning on merit. That's what fans pay to see, argued one Sky analyst, echoing Brown's philosophy. In Australia, though, the narrative is sharper. Commentators there point out that Piastri carries the national hope of ending a 44-year drought since Alan Jones lifted the 1980 title. For them, McLaren's refusal to shield their points leader feels reckless, almost a betrayal of Australia's brightest prospect since Mark Webber. Inside McLaren, the split is equally real. The pit wall has to think in terms of strategy, points, and minimizing risk. But drivers live in a different reality, the cockpit, where instinct and pride collide at 300 kilometers per hour. Norris has been the team's face for years, while Piastri has already proven his steel in high-pressure junior titles. Two perspectives, one team, and a championship balance, hanging on whether those voices converge or clash. Formula One has seen this movie before, and the ending is rarely kind. In 2007, McLaren's refusal to control the Hamilton-Alonso feud tore the team apart and handed the title to Kimi Räikkönen by a single point. Ferrari's hesitation in 2010, when they delayed backing Fernando Alonso, opened the door for Red Bull to claim glory in Abu Dhabi. Even Mercedes, during their dominant years, walked a fine line between allowing Rosberg and Hamilton to fight and stepping in when the team's supremacy was at risk. That's why some in the paddock are calling Brown's stance naive. Gunther Steiner, never one to hold back, has publicly argued that McLaren must back Piastri now before Verstappen's charge becomes unstoppable. His warning echoes a wider sentiment. You don't get many clean shots at a championship, and sacrificing one on principle could haunt a team for decades. And yet, Brown insists the essence of McLaren is built on sporting fairness. It's a romantic vision, one that resonates with fans but tests the nerves of engineers, strategists, and sponsors who know just how slim the margins are in this fight. Singapore is no ordinary race. Under the lights of Marina Bay, 23 corners, relentless heat and humidity turned the Grand Prix into a mental and physical marathon. One mistake, a clipped wall, a slow pit stop, a moment of oversteer can end a title bid in seconds. For Piastri, the stakes are immense. He carries Australia's hopes of a first champion since Alan Jones in 1980, while still fighting to prove he belongs in the conversation with Formula One's greats. For Norris, it's the moment to convert years of loyalty and patience into silverware. And for Verstappen, reborn after Red Bull's resurgence, it is the perfect battleground to break McLaren's fragile balance. Brown's Papaya Rules mean that both his drivers face this crucible alone. No shield, no team orders, only their own skill against the night. The world is waiting to see if McLaren's gamble delivers history or heartbreak. As the countdown to Singapore ticks away, one truth is clear. Zak Brown has chosen risk over certainty. McLaren stands 13 points from a constructor's crown, yet the spotlight is fixed on the more fragile prize, the Drivers' Championship. By refusing to impose team orders, Brown has created the most compelling storyline of the season. Two teammates, one rising star and one loyal stalwart, forced to fight not only each other, but also a resurrected Max Verstappen. If Piastri prevails, his legacy will be instant, a rookie-turned-leader who carried Australia back to the top. If Norris wins, it will be redemption, proof that years of faith and consistency can finally deliver silverware. And if McLaren falters, history will remember 2025 as the year they let unity slip through their fingers and handed Verstappen his fifth crown. The next chapter begins under the lights of Marina Bay. Will McLaren's civil war ignite, or will the Papaya Rules prove the masterstroke of the season?